Welcome to my channel, Glorious English. What if I told you a boy born in a tiny log cabin with no toys, no money, and worn-out clothes would one day sit in the White House? His life was full of struggles, nights reading by candlelight, walking miles to borrow books, and helping neighbors as a young lawyer. Every small act, every choice, every step mattered. Today, you will discover the untold story of Millard Fillmore, a man who turned honesty and patience into power, changing his own life and the nation forever. Chapter 1. Early life in the countryside. Millard Fillmore was born on January 7, 1800, in a tiny log cabin in Cayuga County, New York. The cabin had no glass windows, only wooden shutters that let in cold wind during winter. Life was very hard. His parents worked from dawn to dusk. Millard helped his father feed the animals, carry water from the stream, and cut small pieces of wood. Sometimes the family ate only bread and milk, yet their hearts were full of love. Millard had no toys, so he made his own from sticks and stones. He loved to watch birds fly above the fields and wondered where they went. His parents were honest and hardworking. They told him always to speak the truth and never give up, even when life was difficult. Although there was no school nearby, Millard loved to learn. Once, while helping a neighbor, he saw an old book on a shelf. He asked politely if he could borrow it. The neighbor smiled and said, "Books open the mind, boy." Millard held it like a treasure and read by firelight every night. He often walked long miles to find another book. His shoes were thin and clothes worn, but he did not care. Each page felt like a new world. People in the village noticed this quiet boy with big, curious eyes. Later, his father sent him to work as an apprentice at a cloth shop. The work was hard and the days long, but Millard spent every free moment reading. Even in this tough life, his mind stayed full of dreams. No one in the countryside could imagine that this boy from a poor cabin would one day become President of the United States. Chapter 2. A young man hungry to learn. As Millard grew, his hunger for learning grew even stronger. His family remained poor, and every day began before sunrise. He helped his father with farm work, fed the animals, and carried firewood. Only after completing chores could he think about reading. Sometimes he carried a small book in his pocket, opening it whenever he had a free moment, even while walking home. At 15, Millard told his parents he wanted more education. His father agreed, but said, "You must find a way to pay for it yourself." Millard worked small jobs. He washed wool, cut cloth, carried grain, and swept floors. Every coin earned was saved carefully. One day, he noticed a customer reading a thick book about history. Shyly, Millard asked, "Sir, may I see it?" The man smiled and let him. Millard touched the pages and whispered, "I want to read books like this one day." The man encouraged him, "Keep learning and you will go far. He also attended a small village school whenever possible. The benches were rough, the rooms cold, but Millard listened carefully. After class, he stayed to ask questions. His teacher said, "Millard, you work harder than any student here." Those words gave him confidence. Life was not smooth. Some days he was too tired to study. Some days he felt discouraged because others had more money and better clothes. Yet, Millard knew knowledge was the key to a better life. He read by candlelight, even when his eyes burned. Soon, this determination would lead him to a place he never imagined. Chapter 3. Marriage, Struggle, and Opportunity. As a young man, Millard's life changed when he met Abigail Powers, a kind and intelligent teacher. Abigail loved books as much as Millard did. When they first met, Millard felt shy and nervous. His hands were rough from work, his clothes simple. Abigail spoke gently, as if she saw the potential in him. Their friendship grew into love. They walked in fields, shared stories, and talked about dreams. Abigail encouraged him to study harder. Millard spent late nights reading borrowed books by candlelight. Sometimes he fell asleep on the pages, but always continued. They married in a small, simple ceremony. Life was not easy. They lived in a tiny room with few belongings. Millard taught during the day and studied law at night. Abigail helped by reading legal notes aloud. They had little money, sometimes only bread for dinner. Yet they stayed hopeful. Abigail reminded Millard that each difficult day was a step toward a better future. Slowly, opportunity came. Millard handled small legal cases, helping neighbors settle land problems. People trusted him for his honesty. One farmer said, "He treats my problem as if it is his own." Through struggle and partnership, Millard and Abigail built a life that would lead him far beyond what he had imagined. Chapter 4. Rising in Politics. Millard's honest work as a lawyer brought him close to the people. He listened carefully and explained things simply. One evening, after helping a farmer win a land case, the man said, "You should be in government, Mr. Fillmore." Millard laughed, but the thought stayed in his heart. Encouraged by neighbors, he attended local political meetings. He listened more than he spoke. People admired his calm, fair, and respectful nature. When he started giving speeches, they were simple and full of common sense. He did not make big promises. Once, a child cried during his speech. Millard smiled. Even the young ones want their voice heard. The crowd laughed warmly. He was elected to the New York State Assembly. Nervous on his first day, he carried a small lunch bag to avoid spending money. His humble nature impressed others. In the assembly, he worked quietly, reading every document. He spoke only when necessary, and people respected him for it. Slowly, higher positions noticed his steady character. Millard rose from a poor village boy to a respected lawyer and politician, step by step. Chapter 5. The path to the White House. After serving in the Assembly, Millard understood politics better. Every morning, he walked to meetings and listened carefully. He helped small farmers, shopkeepers, and neighbors solve problems. Once, a young clerk spilled ink over a report. Millard calmly rewrote it neatly, earning admiration. When Zachary Taylor became president, Millard was chosen as vice president. At first, he doubted himself. He spent hours learning laws, budgets, and citizens' needs. He visited towns, meeting workers and farmers, always listening. Then came the turning moment. President Taylor became seriously ill. Millard prepared quietly, meeting advisors and reading letters. He remembered lessons from childhood, assembly, and Congress. Patience, honesty, and careful listening. One morning, he received the call. He would become president. From a small cabin to the White House, his path showed that honesty and steady effort could open even the highest doors. Chapter 6. Presidency and Final Years. As president, Millard faced many challenges. He rose early, read letters from citizens, and reviewed reports. A teacher once asked for better school books. Millard personally instructed improvements. He cared about ordinary people, not only politics. He worked to keep the nation calm, ensuring laws were fair. He visited factories, checking air quality for workers. Education was close to his heart. He helped establish schools and libraries, inspiring children to read and learn. After leaving office, he continued helping quietly, advising politicians and encouraging young leaders. Even in poor health, he wrote letters urging kindness and hard work. He often sat by the window, smiling at the fields, remembering his humble beginnings. Millard Fillmore died in 1874. People remembered him as steady, kind, and patient. His legacy lived in small acts, fair laws, better schools, and respect for all. From a poor boy in a small cabin to president, his life proves that honesty, care, and patience can truly change a nation. Thank you for watching the life story of Millard Fillmore. If you felt inspired, like this video and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Glorious English and hit the bell icon to watch more amazing life stories in simple English.